Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in for another Elden Ring boss guide. This time we're talking about Alecto, the ringleader of all the Black Knife Assassins. Now, I'm making a Black Knife Assassin guide based on Alecto because she is the single most difficult one. She is the toughest of them all, being the ringleader of them. And so if you can handle Alecto, you can handle all of them in the entire game. So I do recommend bringing a weapon with Frost, as they are weak to Frost. Is the only element in the game, I believe, that they are weak to. And I also recommend that you bring a parry-capable weapon if you are parrying at all. If you know how to parry, this is a fight that's worth parrying. And if you have any critical strike scaling weapons, you want to make sure you bring those too. From there, the biggest thing you need to look out for here are her Rune of Death attacks. Her first one that all Black Knife Assassins have is it sends out a wave, just like Reduvia. Instead of doing bleed damage, it does Rune of Death damage, which means that it reduces your max health and does some physical damage over time. The next attack you need to look out for that is exclusive to Alecto as far as Black Knife Assassins go. It's like a mini version of Malekith's Black Blade attack, where she slams her dagger into the ground and causes a bit of a bunch of smaller Rune of Death things to orbit around her at high speed. In a sphere. So you need to make sure when she charges that attack that you just get out of range. I generally choose to run away from it towards the screen when I'm locked onto her, but you can dodge to the other side of her as well, I believe, but I find that to be much more difficult. So I'm going to show you how I take care of that fight, or how I take care of that attack during this fight, as well as I'm going to show you the best moments to attack her. Let's get started. Just like all other Evergaol fights, you can run up and immediately land a hit or two, so make sure you do that here as well. I recommend charging a big attack, as Alecto is high speed and will generally, dodge out of the way after the first hit. We dodge that attack, and then let's go for some dodges here. I failed already. This right here, when she slams her dagger into the ground, is the single best moment to attack her in the entire fight. There's the mini Malekith move that I mentioned. It's very hard to dodge, but if you can get away from it, then, you save yourself a lot of strife. When she runs at you, she'll do one of three things. She'll drag her dagger on the ground like that, and then try to do like an uppercut move with it, or she'll dodge to the left or right, and then she'll, charge you from there, or she will just straight up attack you like she did me there. If she just straight up attacks you, it'll be one of two moves, and both of them are parryable, so that's something to keep in mind. I'm going to try to show off more of these parry type attacks here. Right there. That's the one where she does a spin, but there's also another one where she just kind of hits you. Both are parryable, but they have different timings, so you need to be careful about it. Again, the best moments to actually attack her is when she does the jump and slam on the ground with her dagger. Then you can just run up and land like 2-3 hits on the regular. I missed my parry. This attack right here, that's the one where you want to land your attacks the most. Keep in mind, she also has a command grab attack where she will basically reach back her left hand and she'll try to grab you. If she does grab you, she'll basically put you in a small like chokehold and stab you in the stomach, and it does a lot of damage. This right here. To minimize the potential of getting grabbed by it, you need to roll towards her so that way it minimizes the actual frames of it. So keep that in mind. Roll towards her in those moments. Wait for the slam, hit her a couple times. That's your best moment right there. There's the dodge to the side, so we need to move out of the way. Run away from the mini Malekith move. We run in. I like to land a running R2 there. Roll towards to minimize the command grab frames. I parried early. Let's heal up so that way we're full health. Try to keep your health above like 80% as much as possible, because she has a lot of really strong moves that can one-hit you. Run away from the mini Malekith. Running R2. Roll towards the command grab. Now I'm going to start showing you how to fight her by hitting her in between her moves as well. Because she does have generally low poise, you can hit her in between her moves too. You see how it broke her poise there? Granted, it was a frostbite as well, so that definitely helps, but you can actually hit her in between her combos too. I would say that's a bit of an advanced move, but it is something that you can do all the same. I would recommend not, for the sake of, if you want to make it through the fight in the best way possible. But you can see that your hits will just break her out of her combos very, very often. It's just hard to actually time it because she's so fast. Damn, I parried early again. You see how it staggers her ever so slightly in the middle of her combo? Keep in mind that you can backstab her as well. That is a thing you can do if you can get behind her. In that moment, I probably should have tried to backstab, but I just went for the basic attack. Run away from the mini Malekith. Instead of running in for an attack, I'm going to top off my health. Try to keep your health above 80% if possible. Also, at this point in the game, when you get to her, you should, generally speaking, have a good amount of vigor as well. There's that attack. Beautiful. Uh-oh. Okay. So now you know the actual devastating damage that these Rune of Death attacks can cause. Let's run away from the command grab. Let's heal up. See how much damage over time that was doing? Not to mention the actual damage they did. Those attacks are devastating, so you need to make sure that your health is just always up. I keep rolling that attack a little early. I'm failing you. There's a frostbite for you. Oh my god. I'm having a hard time dodging these attacks, man. Let's hit that parry. So this is my 24th playthrough, and I've fought her at least 15 times now. You can see that, you know, even with all this experience that I have against her, she's just tough. And so that's why I wanted to make a video on this, because it just shows even experienced players can struggle with this boss fight. So if you struggle with it as well, there's no shame in that. Just understand that it's completely normal. Barely out of range of that. Land our attacks. Are you going for the jump? Okay, charged R2 for you. Have that one. Ah, too early on the parry. Okay, didn't break her out of that one that time. Backstab action. It's just a very long, tough, brutal fight. So you just want to make sure that you're making the most of every window of opportunity. Make sure that you have, well, you know, as many heals as possible going in. And you need to avoid the Rune of Death attacks the most. They're the most devastating. All right, come on. Oh, I thought she would die with that last attack. There you go. So if you can follow along with her when she's dancing around, you can land some attacks here and there if your weapon is fast enough. If you are using a heavier weapon, I would not recommend trying that, by the way. Just wait for the proper moments. Just make sure that when you do land the attacks with your heavier weapon, you make the most of it. Even if it's just a basic hit, it's worth it. It's just all about timing. It's all about taking your time in general and just having the wherewithal to understand that it's just a very big battle of endurance. You just need to outlast Alecto. Anyways, guys, as tough as this fight is, I hope you get through it. I hope this video does help. Thank you all for tuning in for it. Thank you guys again for all the support on all my videos. I really appreciate it. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I'll see you soon for more.